All right, welcome back. Now, for you Nikon fanboys out there, we got something really special. Mr. Wu has brought a collection of Nikon film cameras, more the recent ones from the, what would you say, late 80s to 90s. Okay, without further ado, Mr. Wu,
Yeah,
welcome.
so I've got this big box here. I keep all my gear. So as the camera evolved, they were just lever wind. Then the journalists wanted a faster way to shoot rapid succession. So they add a motor you attach underneath, and then you can crank the film. So you can have lever wind and motor wind. Then the trend was to make the camera smaller and lighter, and with the advancement of electronics, micro motor, they started to put motor built into the camera. So Nikon have a series of camera that have built-in motor winding. The first one was this one, the Nikon 301. Of course, I know in the America they have a different naming to it, but it's the same product. So the battery is underneath. It houses 4 AAA battery. You can use the throwaway battery or the rechargeable. But if you needed a little bit more power, longer power, you can buy an adapter that convert this into AA. So you can use AA. The camera become a little bit taller. But here is AAA. So you still have the rewind knob.
Was this made for consumer or for
Yeah,
professionals?
consumer. All right, so this one I now, yeah, open. You still have the rewind crank for rewind. You notice that this one was black. The original one was broken. So I took one from the Canon AE camera and fitted in, so the screw is the same. So it is an odd color. So load the film with a DX ISO coding. This for the data bag. So this already have the vertical shutter, metal shutter. The little wheel here, when you have film, when this move, this wheel spin, it tell you that your film loading is good. So you have this 301. I have another one actually. So I got two. Yeah, this is another 301. Yeah. So you got single shot, continuous. The only thing it doesn't have is autofocus. The autofocus came later. So you got shutter speed up to 2000, 1 second. You got program, aperture priority, TTL flash, and so on. So most of the feature you need is there. They have this 301. After the 301 came the 501, essentially the same camera that has got autofocus. So that's the first Nikon camera with autofocus. I do not have that, so I don't have a 501 to show you. Then they make a big leap. They got the 801. Yeah, the 801. This one is the N8008 in the US. 801, 90, 90. Yeah, S. They got two versions. This is the 801, this is the 801S. You see the S got spot metering. This one no spot metering. So this one is a more serious one. Take 4 AA battery. So got a shutter. This shutter goes to 2000. This shutter goes up to 1/8000. So faster shutter.
What is this little window here for?
Oh, that's to light up the meter display when the light is low. So you can see the shutter speed, aperture. So you got that. So this one, now they have a control view, so depend on the function. I want to do the mode, I press and hold, and I turn this down, so you will select the mode. I want to change ISO, I hold the ISO, I can change ISO.
How many frames per second?
Not too fast, maybe
About
about
three?
3, yeah, about there. You
So
got
it's a
high
little bit
speed.
more than a winder then.
Yeah, these are high speed. Also, the battery you use, if you use a faster, a stronger battery, you can get slightly faster. So then you have your metering, the matrix metering, center weighted, and these two. But you have on the S, you got one more extra. Metering, you can have more metering. Yeah, you got one more spot meter. So the additional feature inside.
Was it pricier?
I can't remember. So this is the.
Did they come out at the same time or within?
Yeah, just a couple of years later.
Oh.
So this is the 801. Then the camera. Then around that time, Canon came up with the EOS system with the faster focusing. So Nikon also came up with one to counter that. So we have the 90X and then the N90. This two is the American model. This one, the rest of the world. So this one got a faster focusing. Also 1/8000 shutter speed. And they got this icon here for you to set a function.
This is a professional grade camera, correct?
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah. In fact, the focusing system on this one is faster than the F4.
I remember when I started as a photojournalist, this is the camera that was issued to me. And I got some of my best front cover shots using this one.
So you got everything that you need. Only thing that these systems don't have is that they got a fixed prism. You cannot take out the prism. But you can, some models, you can change the focusing screen from the bottom. So you can change focusing screen on here and here. So you got the 301, the 801s, the 90X, and then there were some in between. This is the 601. It's less feature, but for the price, you got almost everything. You still can put the cable release here. You've got automatic exposure bracketing. For this one, you need bracketing. You have to buy a special data bag to get the function. This one is the function is built in, so it doesn't work so fast, but working. Now this camera uses a small battery. Yeah, use small battery like this, but because not so popular. This one very hard to get. So what I do is the other battery that's still common is the 123 battery. They are actually two pieces of 123 molded together. So what I did is I do some modification. I took the 123 battery, wrap something around it so that it doesn't jiggle, and put a copper wire, make sure the coating is stripped off. So you got electrical contact. So I put it here. Then I put some foam, press against it, and close the back. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
oh, Mr. Wu, you're quite the genius here.
so we have this. Now, in my rush to bring the camera here, I left out two. There's a F80. Actually, I have F80. Just give me a moment.
Well, guys, this is pretty amazing. I remember these days as a journalist using the F90X.
Yeah. Then we have this F80. This also a mid-range camera, but again, for the price, it has everything. Cable release socket, autofocus. This one uses the AA. I don't need to modify. Straight away I put in. This is a good way. Because this battery is, you can still get it, no problem. So you got autofocus, manual focus, and they got custom function. So some of the function you can control. What you want, what you don't like. This model have the diopter adjustment for your eye. The other one don't have, so to overcome that, you have to screw in from the back the eyepiece that suit your eyes. So you got the F80. They even got a built-in grid line. You can call the grid line on demand. Now, one camera that was at home, did not bring today, is the F100. Somebody mentioned that I left that out in the earlier series. Now, earlier series, I wanted to showcase all the flagship model. That means the F, F2, F3, F4, F5, and I didn't have the F6. So these are the flagship models. So the F100 don't fit there. So it's not that I left it out. I mean, that's by reason I took it off. So when this series, by right, the F100 should appear, but today I did not bring it. Next day I will bring the F100.
Oh, you do have one.
Yeah, I have a F100.
Was the F100, did it come out about the same time the F5 came out?
Yeah, about there.
Was it supposed to be the
Yeah,
kind
that
of a
means
backup camera?
Very good camera for, you see, not everybody need the full feature of the top line. Like especially the changeable viewfinder. If you don't do copy work, action finder, you don't need to take out the finder. So F100, the finder is fixed. But the focusing system is as good as the F5. So very good camera. If you're using it in the field, you have no need to change the finder. That's good.
And another question was, do you think that the F100 was the chassis for the first D1?
I probably so. Actually, the digital model, they use some of the film camera. So the early ones, not the top line one, this was one of the models, the 601. They use it for one of the digital camera. Then of course the F100 and so on. Because it's just like car. Instead of making every car model from scratch, so they take the same chassis and they build around it. So one chassis, what they call it, the platform. So one platform can house many different models. So they save costs and save time and come for spares, and many things are in common. So that's how it works.
All right, thank you very much. In the next episodes, upcoming episodes, what do you think we should
Well,
go
we
to?
have not covered Canon, so I can bring some Canon.
Oh, that would be nice.
We have not covered Pentax, the screw mount Pentax and the K mount Pentax. Then Minolta.
You know, there's a lot of Minolta and Pentax fans out there, especially the mechanical ones, you know, the Spotmatic and stuff, because a lot of people started off on those in the 70s. So that would be incredible. Because I was surprised that your Olympus created such a stir, bringing back
Then
memories
I
for a lot
also
of
have
guys.
another series, another set of camera called the Fujika. Not the modern Fujifilm digital camera, the film camera. That time it's just known as Fujika. Most camera maker, they just put a CA camera shortened in front of the brand. So you got the Konica, the Yashica, the Praktica, and then you got the Fujika. So I'll bring maybe a few Fujika.
Okay, great. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you again,
Okay.
Mr. Wu, and our fans all over the world. They just think you're just the godsend.
No.
And they have their morning coffee listening to you. All right, we'll see you again.
Okay,
Thanks.
see you. Bye-bye.